Every time I drive into Victoria along the Pat Bay Highway and descend the gentle slope toward Swan Creek, I look over to my right, see what look like gardens, and wonder what's going on over there. To find out, I drove down Kent Street and up to the front fence, where I had my first look at the Capital City Allotment Gardens. It was October of 2015, and the gardeners were busy preparing their plots for the coming winter.
I'm putting in leaf mulch because I saw in 1975 the 18 inches of rich black topsoil that was here was stripped from this farmer's field and sold. So half the garden is devoted to the growing of horseradish. I'm trying to grow enough for the restaurant where I work, but last year was a drought year and it was terrible. Given even though that was a drought year, I grew about 10 times more hops than I need, so I'm going to cut the hops back next year a lot.
This is a black currant bush that is diseased. I have this one and one over in the corner. We had 4 of them. They were beautiful berries and stuff, but this year we couldn't use the berries.
In November, high water in Swan Creek flooded parts of the garden. December of 2015 was a month without snow, but there were days when everything in the garden was glazed with hoarfrost. February, the buds are out, and so are the gardeners.
So we put the leaves down and then we turn the soil over with the looser material in it. This particular batch of leaves will add some value to the soil as well.
April, and the garden is coming to life. Bright with color, bustling with industry.
We're just putting a mulch down to keep the moisture in and to keep the weeds out.
Capital City Allotment Garden is the name of it, and I think there's about 150 plots here, and gardeners pay a reasonable fee and they get water and mulch dropped off by the city for free, and they garden different size plots, and everybody has their own idea what they want to do, and it's a real great opportunity to be able to be at the allotment garden if you don't have the privilege of having a garden at your own home.
In the front here we have a bunch of corn. We got some beans over here. We're going to grow some cucumbers beside our beans, and then we got carrots in the box area there. And then in this far corner, we're going to be doing a bunch of beefsteak tomatoes for our salsa.
And I'm just adding compost to the soil. The raised beds are fantastic, and they protected the plants from the flooding. We have raspberries, hayberries, and loganberries in the 3 beds.
I'm cleaning it out and sorting through stuff and organizing.
Got a fantastic apple tree, but every now and then we get the tent caterpillars. So I've got a biological control called BTK, and a couple times a year I spray the tree down, and does a really good job in terms of controlling the tent caterpillars. So watch yourselves here. I'm going to spray these leaves here.
Work is always more pleasant when you're surrounded by flowers. The best time of the year to see the garden is also the busiest time.
We got this lot in May. We had to add things, and with the help of my neighbors and encouragement and my dream come true.
Early summer brings long days, rapid growth for vegetables, for fruit, for berries, and of course for yet more flowers. Every gardener has a particular way of storing equipment, including those who doff their gloves and share a few minutes in the shade. While work goes on around them.
Okay, I'm watering my tomatoes at the moment, and the goal is not to waste water, just to water each individual plant. Some people use a watering can, but I'm too lazy to do that.
I'm just sort of going through the beds right now to pick out a lot of the annual weeds. My husband and I just got this plot this season, so it hadn't been turned in some time.
Under the late summer sun, the garden enjoys its most productive days.
Hi, I'm just watering my garden. I'm putting some seaweed fertilizer and things. I try to do this about every 10 days or so.
Here I have some peppers. See the big ones here? I have this other kind here.
There are always a few thistles, along with quite a few other more acceptable blossoms. It's still summer, but the harvest has already started.
It's been growing pretty fast, and I thought I would harvest it today.
Well, actually, I stuck with one breed this year, and they're all morning girl. And this is about my fourth picking.
That is squash, big squash. They are very yummy. That is a winter squash.
The flowers begin to develop seed pods. The garden is shaken by cooling breezes, and it is lit by a paler sun. Everything in the garden has reached maturity. And is ready for harvest.
This year, and many years before, are growing tall beans. And they grow about 8 feet long. And they grow on a rack like this.
Yeah, I've gathered up some squash. I already picked a big batch of tomatoes, and I made some special tomato sauce with that.
And, as always, work to be done.
First of all, thank Dave Barrett for the foresight of buying this and creating these gardens as part of his food security program. I cleaned up this mess up here. I found this bedrock and I said, well, this isn't really good for rototilling. So I said, I'll have to think of something else to do with it.
It's the end of September, but this is Victoria, and the garden is still alive with color. The sun keeps shining, but every day is just a little cooler than the one before. Late October brings days of rain. There are still a few flowers, but it's a very different garden. The warm weather is finished, but not the work and not the workers.
I'm digging out a flag iris, invasive plant that we had in here that we've been working to get rid of.
When the leaves are delivered, put some leaves on, and that's all nutrients for the next year.
With November, the garden has completed the full cycle of the seasons. And December of 2016 put the garden to sleep under a blanket of crispy snow.